In our hyper-connected world, political jargon is everywhere. Left-wing, right-wing, liberal, conservative, these terms are tossed around constantly. But what do they really mean? Often, they're used as simplistic labels, failing to capture the nuances of complex ideologies. Understanding these terms is crucial for navigating the political landscape. Without a firm grasp of their historical context and evolving meanings, we risk misinterpreting policies, movements, and even entire systems of governance. This video is your compass. We'll crack open the tough nut of key political ideologies, explore their historical roots, and examine how they manifest in different parts of the world.
Our exploration will take us from the heart of the French Revolution to the bustling streets of modern megacities. We'll uncover the historical forces that shaped these ideologies and the thinkers who championed them. From the fervent cries for equality to the staunch defense of tradition, we'll see how these ideas have played out on the world stage. Understanding political ideologies is essential for informed citizenship. It empowers us to critically evaluate political discourse, engage in meaningful debates, and make choices that align with our values. Join me as we unravel the intricate tapestry of political and economic ideologies.
Our journey begins in the tumultuous heart of the French Revolution. The year is 1789. France, burdened by economic woes and social injustices, explodes in a wave of revolutionary fervor. The Bastille falls, the monarchy trembles, and a new era dawns on the horizon. At the heart of this transformation was the Estates General, a legislative body summoned by King Louis XVI to address the kingdom's mounting problems. This assembly, however, became a catalyst for radical change. As representatives from the three estates, the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners gathered, the very foundations of French society were called into question. This burgeoning spirit of radicalism would soon give birth to the terms that define our political discourse to this day: left and right.
Within the Grand Hall where the Estates General convened, a physical division emerged, one that would have lasting implications for political discourse. To the left of the king sat those who advocated for radical change, the proponents of a republic, the champions of liberty, equality, and fraternity. On the right side of the king sat those who sought to preserve the existing hierarchy. This physical separation within the assembly hall became a powerful symbol, a visual representation of the ideological chasm that was emerging within French society. The terms left and right transcended the physical space of the assembly, rapidly becoming shorthand for a complex web of political beliefs. The left, associated with progress and revolution, attracted those who yearned for a more egalitarian society.
The French Revolution gave us the terms left and right, but the spectrum of political ideologies extends far beyond this simple dichotomy. It's not a straight line, but rather a complex web of ideas, principles, and values. To truly understand the political landscape, we need to explore the nuances of various ideologies that have shaped our world. Think of it like a color wheel. Left and right represent just 2 points on this wheel, while countless other hues and shades exist in between. Each ideology offers a unique perspective on how society should be organized, how power should be distributed, and what role government should play in our lives. Few ideologies exist in their purest form. Rather, they often blend and evolve, borrowing elements from one another and adapting to changing circumstances.
Let's start our journey with ideologies that represent stark contrasts in their views on power and governance. On one end of the spectrum, we have absolutism, a system where a single ruler holds absolute, unchecked power. This ruler, often a monarch, dictates all aspects of life, from lawmaking to economic policy, without any accountability to the people they govern. Examples of absolutist rule can be found throughout history, from the Roman Empire to the French monarchy before the Revolution. At the opposite end of the spectrum lies anarchism, an ideology that rejects all forms of hierarchical authority, including the state. Anarchists believe that true freedom and equality can only be achieved in a society without rulers or hierarchies, where individuals are free to govern themselves through voluntary cooperation and mutual aid. While there have been historical examples of anarchist communities, such as the Free Territory during the Russian Revolution, they have typically been short-lived and often face challenges in maintaining order and stability. Between these two extremes lie a range of ideologies that grapple with the balance between individual liberty and societal order. Conservatism, for example, emphasizes tradition, stability, and gradual change.
Moving beyond individual versus collective, we encounter ideologies that prioritize the collective good, often at the expense of individual liberties. Totalitarianism, a terrifying spectre of the 20th century, exemplifies this approach. In a totalitarian state, the government exerts total control over all aspects of life: political, social, economic, and even cultural. Individual rights are non-existent, dissent is ruthlessly suppressed, and the state apparatus permeates every facet of society, often fueled by propaganda and fear. Another ideology centered on collective identity is theocracy, where religious leaders hold political power and religious law dictates governance. In a theocracy, there is no separation between church and state. Rather, they are intertwined, with religious doctrine shaping legal codes, social norms, and political decisions. Examples of theocracies can be found throughout history and across the globe, from ancient Egypt to modern-day Iran.
Political ideologies rarely exist in a vacuum. They are often intertwined with and even driven by economic systems that shape the production and distribution of wealth within a society. To truly understand the interplay between left and right, we need to delve into the realm of economic ideologies. Let's begin with feudalism, the dominant economic system in medieval Europe. Feudalism was characterized by a rigid social hierarchy, with landowning nobles granting protection to peasant farmers in exchange for labor and loyalty. This system, while providing a degree of stability, stifled innovation and social mobility. Peasants were tied to the land, with little opportunity for advancement, while nobles held vast power and wealth. The seeds of change, however, were sown as trade routes expanded, cities grew, and a new merchant class emerged. This nascent merchant class became instrumental in the rise of capitalism, an economic system characterized by private ownership of the means of production, free markets, and the pursuit of profit. Under capitalism, individuals are free to own property, start businesses, and engage in trade with minimal government interference.
As capitalism gained momentum, so too did critiques of its inherent inequalities. Thinkers and activists, witnessing the plight of the working class, began to envision alternative economic systems that prioritize social justice and collective well-being. Out of this ferment emerged socialism, a broad ideology advocating for social ownership or control of the means of production and a more equitable distribution of wealth. Socialists argued that capitalism's emphasis on individual profit inevitably led to exploitation and social strife. They envisioned a system where workers, rather than capitalists, controlled the means of production, ensuring that the benefits of economic activity were shared more equitably. This could take various forms, from worker-owned cooperatives to state-controlled industries, all united by a common goal of social justice and economic equality. One of the most influential left-wing thinkers was Karl Marx, whose critique of capitalism alongside Friedrich Engels laid the foundation for Marxism and the body of ideas which shaped socialism, and its hard left and more aggressive version, communism. Marx argued that capitalism was inherently exploitative, creating a fundamental conflict between the bourgeoisie, who owned the means of production, and the proletariat, the working class.
Marx envisioned communism as a utopian society where private property would be abolished, class distinctions would disappear, and the means of production would be owned and controlled collectively. In this ideal communist state, the principle of from each according to his ability to each according to his needs would prevail, ensuring that everyone contributed to society according to their capacity and received what they needed. However, the path from Marxist theory to real-world communism proved to be complex and often tragic. The first attempt to build a communist state came in the wake of the Russian Revolution, leading to the creation of the Soviet Union. Under Lenin and later Stalin, the Soviet Union underwent a brutal period of collectivization, industrialization, and political repression, a far cry from Marx's vision of a classless, egalitarian society. Despite its woeful and costly failings, the Soviet Union inspired other communist movements around the world, from China to Cuba.
Ideologies are not just abstract theories, they have real-world consequences, shaping the destinies of nations and the lives of billions. To understand the impact of these ideologies, let's examine how they have manifested in different countries, each offering a unique case study in the interplay between political and economic systems. We begin with the United States, a nation often touted as a bastion of capitalism and liberal democracy. Founded on principles of individual liberty, limited government, and free markets, the US has long been a champion of capitalist ideals. However, the American experience also reveals the challenges and contradictions inherent in balancing economic freedom with social justice. Across the Atlantic, the United Kingdom and most European countries offer another perspective on liberal democracy, albeit with a more pronounced emphasis on social welfare. While embracing free markets, the UK has also developed a robust social safety net, providing healthcare, education, and other essential services to its citizens. This reflects a commitment to mitigating the inequalities that can arise from unfettered capitalism.
The Soviet Union may have dissolved, but its legacy, and that of communist ideology, continues to resonate across the globe. China, the world's most populous nation, remains a communist state, albeit one that has undergone significant economic reforms, embracing market forces while maintaining strict political control under the Chinese Communist Party. In contrast to China's economic pragmatism, Cuba stands as a steadfast adherent to socialist principles. Despite facing decades of economic embargo from the United States, Cuba has maintained a socialist system, prioritizing social equality and universal access to healthcare and education, though often at the expense of economic freedom and political dissent. These examples highlight the diversity of experiences within the communist world, demonstrating that ideology is not a monolithic force, but rather a malleable framework that adapts to specific historical and cultural contexts.
As we've journeyed through the history of political and economic ideologies, from the fervour of the French Revolution to the rise and fall of empires, one overarching theme emerges: the enduring struggle between competing visions of how society should be organised. It's a struggle that has played out over centuries, shaping the destinies of nations and the lives of billions. We've explored the stark contrast between absolutism and anarchism, witnessed the tension between individual liberty and collective good, and delved into the complexities of economic systems like capitalism, socialism, and communism. Each of these ideologies offers a unique perspective on power, equality, and the role of government in our lives. None hold all the answers, and each has its own set of strengths and weaknesses. The world today is a tapestry woven from these competing threads of ideology. We see echoes of these historical struggles in contemporary debates over income, inequality, social justice, and the role of government in regulating the economy. Understanding these ideological underpinnings is crucial for navigating the complexities of our modern world.
In an era of information overload and political polarization, it's more important than ever to approach these complex issues with nuance and critical thinking. The world cannot be neatly divided into left and right, and reducing complex ideologies to simplistic labels only serves to deepen divides and hinder meaningful dialogue. This journey through the landscape of political and economic thought is not meant to provide easy answers or declare one ideology superior to another. Rather, it's an invitation to engage with these ideas critically and to recognize the historical forces that have shaped our political and economic world. As informed citizens, it is our responsibility to move beyond simplistic labels and engage in thoughtful debate, recognizing the validity of different perspectives while advocating for the principles we hold dear. By embracing nuance, seeking common ground, and engaging in respectful dialogue, we can work towards a more just and equitable world. The journey of understanding political and economic ideologies is a dynamic one. It requires continuous learning, critical thinking, and a willingness to engage with diverse perspectives. By embracing this journey, we empower ourselves to become more informed, engaged, and effective citizens, capable of shaping a better future for ourselves and generations to come. If you found this video insightful, please support our channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Your engagement helps us continue to bring you thoughtful content. Thank you.